I just got finished watching Wish Dragon on Netflix, and something interesting about this movie I find is that nobody's talking about it. Even though this is a movie from a major animation studio, Sony Pictures Animation, which just put out The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Though this is a collaboration with a bunch of Chinese studios as well, but still, it's like a big Netflix release. Like, at the time of recording this, there are only 11 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes of this movie, which is very strange for a big-budget animated movie to have that few reviews, because usually critics get to see the movie way before release. And I don't think there were any controversies about this movie, at least that I'm aware of. If there were controversies, I think people would have been talking about it a lot more. Even Netflix isn't really advertising it. I haven't seen, like, any ads on Twitter or anywhere. It's just kind of baffling to me that there's very little publicity for this movie. But besides that, is the movie good? I think so. The movie follows a boy named Din, who grows up with his best friend, Lena, until they're 9, and then they're separated because her father moves to the big city and has a big, like, company and wants to have a better life for her. Then flash forward to 10 years later, where Din is still remembering his friend, and he wants to get to know her again. He comes across this teapot who has the Wish Dragon in it, who is named Long, and Long's goal is to finish these last 3 wishes because he needs to finish serving 10 masters before he can go to the spirit realm. And the plot points that follow after that are very similar to Aladdin. Like, even some of the dialogue they speak sounds very similar to Aladdin, like, word for word, about, like, what you can't wish for, about like, people falling in love, bringing people back from the dead and all that. That's not to say that being derivative can be bad, because it's actually executed pretty well. Though Long is sort of an anti-genie, because he is trying to do all the things that are opposite of what Genie was trying to do. So there are moments in the film that feel very frustrating, especially in the mid part of the first half, but I think once it gets to the second half, the movie definitely becomes more of its own, and there are a lot more heartfelt moments in that second half. And unlike Aladdin, this is not a musical, it's strictly like a family-friendly comedy animated film. And as far as comedy goes, there are some pretty good jokes. There was like a really good joke in the beginning about like having a pet chicken and then eating it. And the animation, like I said, it's Sony Pictures Animation, so it does look good. A lot of the backgrounds look very much almost like they're 2D, but when you get up close, you're like, oh yeah, they're 3D. The only problem I have with the animation is that during the beginning parts, there are parts where it seems like the lip syncing is a bit off, though they are a bit far away from the camera, and I think they did that just to save time, because I think this movie, like some other Chinese collaborations with animation studios, sometimes they lip sync both Chinese and English. So they might have just did that to save time since it was a faraway shot. But overall, I did like the movie. It's just that first mid part of that first half where it becomes a little bit frustrating about what the characters are doing. I do think Din is a good main character, and Long I do like as the Wish Dragon. There are just some of those moments where he's sort of like the anti-genie with the things that he's saying, but thankfully he does come around and it makes a lot more sense in the second half of the movie. So yeah, I would recommend you watch it. Not a lot of people seem to be talking about it, so I thought I would talk about it so you guys could watch it. It's just on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, you can watch it. And if you have seen Wish Dragon, tell me down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.